Hiya guys, hope you're doing well. My name is Rowlands. I'm a nutritional balancing practitioner, and in this video I am going to be answering a few questions from my email. So, first question. Hi Lewis, I am battling fear. I tried cooking for myself today and it was all prepared. All I had to do was fill the pot with water and wait for the water to boil and put an alarm on for 30 minutes. I don't know why, and it sounds pathetic, but I couldn't do it. I got such a headache and my mental energy just poured out of me, and I was drained and had no more energy for the rest of the day, even though I've rested the whole week. When things like this happen, I always get extremely fearful. I'm desperately looking for testimonials about people who have had bad mental exhaustion as me or similar, but I never find anything. I see a lot about physical fatigue, but not about mental fatigue. Now I'm wondering, have you any clients or been in contact with anyone or heard anyone with similar issues that got well? I just feel like I badly got to talk. I just feel like I need to talk to someone or hear about someone who has had the same issue. How did you cope with fear? So I think the first problem that you've got is you are just assuming that no one suffers from mental fatigue, and I can assure you now that the mental fatigue is more of a problem for most people than physical fatigue. In fact, the vast majority of people I work with suffer from extreme mental fatigue, and the physical fatigue in many cases just comes as a result from their mental overload. So you need to realize that a lot of people, the reason why a lot of people get sick is because their mind is in overdrive, and then their physical body becomes sick, and then their physical body cannot support their mental functioning capabilities. So most people are mentally fatigued, and again, the reason why people are physically fatigued is because usually they started off as a high thinking, highly driven person anyway. Anyone that suffers from mental fatigue suffers from things like sympathetic dominance. Generally, the lower the potassium level, the more mental fatigue someone has, and loads of people are in sympathetic dominance. Loads. Now, I suffered from extreme mental fatigue as well, and I understand it's not a nice feeling. I'm trying to figure out what the reason is why you were so fearful. I mean, it seems to me like you've never really cooked for yourself. So what was the big issue in cooking for yourself? I think one of the best ways that I worked with my mental fatigue was that I just took things like super slow. Everything I did was really slow, and I remember I started doing the pushing down exercise, and for the first 5 minutes, for the first minute, I couldn't even do it. It took me a while to build up and build up and build up and build up. But I think because I was very, very highly driven person, my mental fatigue was pretty extreme. And I would get overwhelmed by the slightest thing that has anything to do with stress. So what did I do to cope with fear? I think asking me a question is a good way of dealing with fear. I used to reach out to practitioners and other people, and realize actually I'm in the same boat as a lot of people. It seems to me that you don't realize that you're in the same boat as a lot of people. You are like mental and physical fatigue are the same. If you got physical fatigue, you've got mental fatigue, and as I said before, most of the reasons why people got physical fatigue is because they're mentally exhausted. So just try taking things really, really slowly. I'm sure you do, and I understand how difficult it is. It takes time. Do do the pushing down exercise more often. Try and do it as often as you can. Take some deep breaths. You know, realize that fear is, you know, so you can just give it away to the universe a little bit. Just kind of, it's not your job to be fearful. Sometimes it's the universe's job to kind of, you know, take a little bit of the load. Too many people just put everything on their shoulders, and they need to realize that there is a higher force out there, whether you want to call it God or source or whatever. I didn't believe in this when I first started the program, but I can assure you now it's the truth. There is this higher force that will guide you through it. So, you know, do a lot of praying and stuff. It might sound weird, but trust me, if you do it, it'll come back to you. But, you know, just keep going. Realize that you're not in this, you know, this is people are in the same boat. I am going to do some testimonials actually soon on the channel. I've just been sorting out a lot of different things, so don't worry about that, but just keep pushing forwards, and believe me, it gets better. Next question. Hello Lewis, if you remember a few days ago I wrote you an email about how I am sick. Yeah, I remember this guy was eating junk food and he ended up getting sick. I am desperate. Since then I did 2 coffee enemas every day. Also, I've been in the sauna, eating the Nutritional Balancing program, all the supplements, and I'm still absolutely exhausted, foggy, in a bubble, and it doesn't seem to get better. I don't know if I'm depleting the body even more with enemas and saunas, although I thought it would pass quicker. After an enema, yes, I feel better, but my stomach is still bloating, gassy, etc. I even seen some parasites after enemas in the toilet. Well, that's good news. Probably one of the reasons why you feel bad is because the parasites are dying. Also, I've been depleting myself before with ejaculating a lot, and now I'm holding it in for 6 days because I feel like I have to. Maybe it will bring some energy in the long run. Biggest problem is insomnia during this. I feel really tired and sleepy during the day, but at night time, when finally comes, I go to sleep and I am wired. So it is difficult when people, you know, they'll message me and say, oh, I've not been doing the program and I've been eating junk food, and now I feel bad, what do I do? And the trick, you know, there's no special program for, you know, cheating or doing junk food. But sometimes you can go over the top. Sometimes you can get freaked out and do more enemas and do more saunas, thinking that that's going to make it get better quicker, and it doesn't do that. It can actually be a little bit detrimental. It can deplete you a little bit if you're doing too many enemas and too many saunas. So whenever you eat junk food, don't do extra. Just do what you normally do. Now, just to make sure that you aren't depleting yourself, it's probably a good idea for you to stop doing the detox procedures for a few days, just while your body can catch up a little bit, and just rest. You will get through it, but you know, when the body gets an influx of junk food, it can be a little bit overwhelming, and it can take a few days, you know, to get back on track. You know, I remember when I used to like go out and drink. I used to like do the program and then I would go out and drink because I was just fed up on it, go out drinking with my friends. You know, it could take me up to like, you know, 2, 3, even 4 weeks to feel how I felt before I was drinking. Do you understand what I mean? Like, it can take a while. You know, ejaculating's a big one. If I could give any advice to anyone watching, it's just try not to ejaculate at all. You will ejaculate at some point. You'll probably have like a wet dream or something, but it really slows down things. I know it's difficult for guys. One of the most difficult things for me, you know. But you know, I've been in situations where I've been in relationships, and you know, that sexual energy, it can take like 2 months to recover. You know, if you're ejaculating a lot. So yeah, in terms of insomnia, try watching my videos. You might be depleting yourself doing too many enemas, do too many saunas. So just drop them. You know, watch my video on insomnia and sleep issues, and read Dr. Wilson's article on sleep, and that should help you out. But I think you need to take a step back and just rest, and you know, let your body just balance itself out a little bit. So just do the diet for now, and maybe just take some GB3 for a few days and just recalibrate yourself. That's what I usually do. All right, guys, that's everything. If you'd like to start a nutrition balancing program, just send me an email, lewis@deepinleanspace.com. And also, if you've got any questions, all right, thanks for watching, and I'll speak soon.